everyone. Remember that thing they say, if they tell you about Nigeria, if you're not Nigerian and somebody described Nigerian to you and you understood what the person described to you or defined for you or explained to you, then that person did not define it very well to you. Because in Nigeria, everything is upside down. Yes, it is. What you would think is unbelievable can never happen. Something that it's non-negotiable can never happen in other countries. They do happen in Nigeria, and we just move on as in it's one of those things. Bandits with POS. So the question you need to ask, which bank? First of all, we've seen the issue of bandits, coming online on social media to actually do live. And some of them are, if they even share money, when they do, especially on that TikTok thing where they do live and they're telling people, bring your account. You see a lot of Nigerians actually sending their accounts to those people and then they're sharing money, yet the authority is unable to grab them, look for them, and get a hold of them. If it is someone who has, they say, insulted a politician or done something to a politician, the Nigerian police and other security agencies, they know how they go and get that particular person. Here we are, bandits with their POS. So tell me now, what those banks, they didn't do know your customer, the KYC that they're always shouting to us, they didn't do it. We went through so much troubles trying to get our numbers, our phone numbers verified. That verification system took a whole lot. Nigerians were put through so much trauma in terms of them trying to get those numbers verified. And according to them at that time, it was supposed to be used to be able to detect everyone, especially, criminals, bandits, terrorists, kidnappers, and all of that. But rather, it seems as if it was just done to punish Nigerian citizens. And then again, when Pantami came and then he decided he was going to do another case of verification where people had to send in their numbers and BVN and whatever, I remember categorically I had said, I am not going to give Pantami, who was known to be a terrorist sympathizer, my numbers, and I refused to do it. And I was waiting for them to take away my numbers. Years later, I would find out that, I think it was last year, 2024, this 2025, right, that I found out that what they now did was that they attached my daughter's BVN to my phone number, or is it vice versa in a way? And I felt, so they could do something like that, and they didn't do that for all Nigeria, because I refused to put in that after we had gone through so much. And so when it comes to citizens, these people know how to punish citizens, but when it comes to going after the bandits, you will never see them. The same question that in this illegitimate administration that of course hasn't shown any care for the killings of the people. Tinubu went to Katsina to go and to go and do wedding because the governor of Katsina, his daughter, was getting married, but he never bothered to go and check on the people of Katsina whose people have been killed repeatedly. They are still being killed and they've been displaced, from their homes. Recently, I did a video showing all of that and how pain the people of the people of Katsina really are over the things that have been happening in their country. And of course, what about Ribadu, Nuhu Ribadu, that is supposed to be the national security advisor, focus more on politics and politicking rather than saving the lives of the people. At the end of the day, you ask yourself, what is the worth of the Nigerian life? Because it seems as if the Nigerian thumbprint is actually more important or more worthy than the Nigerian life from the way it is being treated. And when you come to these bandits, these terrorists, these kidnappers, for a lot of people who say that there is a connivance between our security agencies and these criminals, terrorists, bandits, whatever it is that you want to call them, it's not far-fetched. When you see certain things, you want to believe these people who say so, because how can they have a POS and you can't trace the bank and get them? How can even ransom that are being given, you can't attack a chip to get them. And in the news, I saw in the news, I'm still trying to follow and see whether there are mainstream media that are carrying that particular news, is where they said that, oh, there's a certain either terrorist or something, that his family had been arrested in Saudi Arabia, where they had gone to do some sort of pilgrimage. I'm still trying to ascertain and follow that news and see whether the mainstream media are actually carrying that particular news also. We've had Dubai. Dubai has sentenced some Nigerians, for financing terrorism. Yet in Nigeria, we've not been able to have this done. And even most times you find out that these terrorists, where they are operating, it's not far from where you have military operations, military, what do you call that thing, that they mount their military roadblocks. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for. Military roadblocks or security roadblocks they mount in there. And there are so many things that have happened over the years that sometimes you just sit down and you're saying the reports that have been coming out that there's real collaboration between these terrorists and security agents. There must be a huge element of truth in it. And the case of I'm thinking of the case of Dapchi also, when the girls were taken away from their school and they were abducted. Usually they say there are tens of, or maybe 20, like security posts, roadblocks around that whole road, but somehow days or hours before the attack happened, they were all withdrawn, and the terrorists had a free range to move all over the place. We've also seen military soldiers that have come out to also cry out and say that a lot of time they are being sabotaged when they want to attack the terrorists, and they have advantage over the terrorists, that the kind of order that is given to them is for them to step down. And at the end of the day, you now find that most times the terrorists are coming to now attack them. Then you begin to wonder, what is it that is really going on in Nigeria? Who is benefiting from the terrorism that is happening in Nigeria? Who is benefiting from the banditry that is happening in Nigeria? Who is benefiting from the killings that are happening in Nigeria? Because indeed, there must be some benefactors. That's why they are not going after this. I believe in the Nigerian police, in the capacity of the Nigerian police when it takes away its incompetence, when it's ready to work. I believe in the capacity of our security agencies. They can defeat, the terrorists, the bandits, the kidnappers, and all of that. But what we've had is that they have not had the leadership, the kind of leadership that is supposed to go on and defeat these terrorists. And at the end of the day, what it does is that it makes the Nigerian life vulnerable. Almost what we see is that there's no political will to defeat, the terrorists, the bandits, the kidnappers, and the criminals who are attacking us. Dear Nigerians, we are the ones that must make our lives matter. We must let those in authority, whether legitimate or illegitimate, that the Nigerian life must matter. Thank you very much.